You know, Gretch, it's okay to be
Dữ là test testing. What happened? Let's go. Archon Quest Chapter 5 Act 3. The sound is too sensitive.
Failure is just a step on the path to glory.
All right.
Hello, Zelonan. Oh yes, VA strike.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natland not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Huh? You're saying the Pyro Archon didn't tell you?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound. And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now.
Are you upset?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm used to it, really. I just need a moment to process things.
Kakak Jung Mimi.
The Pyro Archon's requests are always difficult to fulfill, and We used to argue a lot. Honestly, it's probably for the better that she didn't bring this up at the time. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an outlander is an impossible task.
It's impossible?
What?
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's spirit and glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name.
Yeah, I saw countless feats recorded in the adventure books.
But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name. Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the Wyab don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Malika, of all people, should know better than anyone, yet she's still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
Why do I feel like this had happened before? I think last time Jalanan just ended up.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon. If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen. In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
Yeah, let's see if we can find some special way to pull this off. If we really can't make it work, I'm sure we can still go back and talk to the Pyro Archon, right?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to? Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough. I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wyab. The first person who comes to mind is Lali at the Masters of the Nightwind, the one we call Granny Eatstali.
Granny.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm unsure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in her room and doesn't like to be disturbed. I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah, at the cost of her Spirit Speaker Stone being split into two.
Huh?
Great going, Malika. We're already off to a rocky start here. In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, Seat Lolly would still want to show respect to the Archon. I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
Oh, let's ask Kinish to deliver the letter. He understands the whole situation and is already a familiar face to her.
Paimon sure hopes a Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
Alright, Kanich is a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say.
Great! Then I go contact him right now.
Please just give me a moment to write the letter, and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
Sounds good. We'll take a stroll in the meantime.
Kinish the agreed location. You mean again? Kachina told me everything. I'll deliver the message to the Masters of the Night Wind and convince Citlali to give you a chance. I'll also take this chance to explain what happened to the Spirit Speaker Stone and offer her an apology in person.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
It's alright. We're all working for the sake of the Pyro Archon's plan, after all. Everyone here understands how dire the situation has become.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Because we all saw a hero of the past rematerialize right before our eyes. And then Molani said the son of knowledge and memories has suddenly flooded her brain. The Pyro Archon explained everything when we came back from the Night Kingdom, including the reason behind the appearance of the hero as well as the current state of the Night Kingdom.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
I have another piece of intel to share. We've pretty much identified the person who rescued the captain in the Stadium of the Sacred Fleet. His name is Auroron, and he also hails from the Masters of the Night Wind. However, he spent most of his life living out in the wilderness by himself, away from the rest of the tribe. That's why his disappearance went unnoticed. By the time Citlali finally realized that he was gone, no one had heard from him for quite a while.
Citlali knows him too?
That's right. Auroron was an orphan raised by the chief of the Masters of the Night Wind and many other kind-hearted people in his tribe. Still, he's had something of an odd reputation his whole life. Odd, huh?
Given how the Masters of the Night Wind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Auroron, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
That's right. So, in that sense, Auroron and Citlali actually have quite a bit in common, which is why they get along pretty well.
Huh. Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Citlali could be the first one to notice Auroron's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
As of now, we still haven't been able to confirm whether Auroron joined the Fatui Volant if he was. Citlali is probably eager to prove that Auroron hasn't betrayed his people. I plan to use this as leverage when I go talk to her.
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Auroron and the captain's whereabouts?
Yes, if you are all on board with the idea, then it becomes a mutually beneficial collaboration, rather than just a one-sided request. Even though I don't think Lali is the kind of person to turn down an order from the Pyro Archon, working together with us will help her focus and not get distracted by the whole Auroron situation. Good idea.
Plus, we kinda owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the spirit speakers down.
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan. As expected of Molly Poke Niche. Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Seat Lolly can meet at the stadium in 2 days.
Sure, I'll head out right away. Take care of the Kinich. I'll be heading back as well. There are still a few things I need to pack.
Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Wait until the morning. Morning. Yes. Nope.
My potted plant on the porch has died again? I was watering it every day. Ugh, don't tell me I overdid it. This time.
This. What is this?
Oh, it's time to meet up with Shilonen. Let's ask her how things have been going.
All right.
Hey, Shilonen, how's everything going?
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Seat Lolly did not reply to our request. Although, I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kanichi a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Nightwind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that she probably has other reasons for not deigning us with a response. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go!
Stadium.
All right.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
Come on.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right?
Bilang itu kan
Shouldn't
pula.
the subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter. Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know. If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Huh? Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? See, Lolly.
Hmm?
Wait, you're Seat Lolly? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatsley. But emphasis on Eatsley, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young. It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, how old are you actually?
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you, it's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Seat Lolly. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part. No? But, of course... It's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me.
Oh my days.
Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little...
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
I see. So Mawika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first.
What?
And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Auroron back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. O weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage. Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroron.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you need any help, just come find me.
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroron's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But please help me get him back.
You can count on us!
All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroron was seen last.
Auroron is here.
All right.
This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroron speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroron really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with a Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him, or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kanich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless.
Auroron? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant, and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him. He learned a lot from us, and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place. Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand. How about now?
What do you see? Whoa, Paimon can see it now too!
That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! See, Lolly might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
What was that?
Oh, Paimon was just complimenting you.
What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns. But given the looks on their faces just now, or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting the impression that I'm super old-fashioned.
Huh? Was that Seat Lolly's voice?
Now that I think about it, it's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends. Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly.
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there.
Let's go take a look. That little brat.
Yeah, judging by Paimon's experience as a guide,
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit... Let me see.
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be...
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So, Auroron, we've got to find him. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably... if they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire. No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
Hello, Jennifer. I thought you have come before, but... Nope. Not sure.
All right.
There are traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The
Ah,
phlogiston
okay.
around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well.
Kanich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense so many more things than us.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate
I'm
ways.
fine, just
Both
chilling.
the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Auroron wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
Given there are 2 signals leading
What
from
other
here,
game
we should split
I
up as well.
play? No other game. I only play this game.
I'll take this direction and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Auroron, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. Ah, you little brat.
And off she goes. Traveler, did you hear all of that as well? Once Lolly left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name
I'm
inside
streaming
Paimon's
for
head, but there was no response. So you were thinking the same thing. Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads. She did say that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. Huh, maybe we're a special case and can hear her thoughts as a side effect. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of her.
Paimon. No thanks, Jennifer. Thank you for the offer, but I'm not
I can see
interested.
some traces here. Let's follow them and see if we can find anything up ahead. Did you find something? Huh. So we can't tell where Auroron might have gone from here. That's weird. The phlogiston trail suddenly stops. We can't make anything of these footprints either. But he can't have just evaporated into thin air, right? We know he wasn't alone. He had all those Fatui with him.
So, you can hear the sounds of the wind from beneath the earth.
What happened? Right, Kingdom.
I'm very sorry, but please do not move. I have no desire to hurt you. I apologize that our first meeting has to take place like this. It's just that you're much like one of those animals with ears that perk up as soon as it senses danger in their environment. And given your combat proficiency, I would not have been able to gain an advantage over you if you were anywhere else in the world. However, you're now in the Night Kingdom, a familiar domain to the masters of the Night Wind. Hello, traveler. I'm Auroron, the one you've been searching for. Ah, the Fatui's custody. I see. So even Granny has told you that I was coerced by the Fatui. I'm afraid you've been brought here by a lie, like a false omen in the lingering smoke. My friend and I only left those traces to lure you here. Deceiving you was never our true intent, however. It was simply the fastest and most feasible way for us to set up a meeting.
Captain.
Greetings, traveler from afar.
Be careful with this traveler. Her soul is temporarily restrained by us, and it appears to have become more fragile in the process. It's taking all my concentration to hold on to her.
It was I who tasked Auroron with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom. I've heard much
do you
about
want?
you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you, in person. I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you, as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan. If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
You will see me again once you return to reality. No matter what I say, please, help me keep this a secret. This is all to avoid dragging Granny into this conflict.
Hey, what happened just now? You suddenly collapsed and stopped responding.
Hey, why are you sitting on the ground? Are you okay?
See, Lolly! She froze for a moment and then just collapsed to the ground.
Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere? Don't worry. We can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me.
If you're feeling sick, you should just say so. See, Lolly should be able to, exorcise any ghosts or weird stuff that you picked up in the Night Kingdom.
A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just... In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now. Need to be more careful next time.
Feeling better yet, Traveler?
All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroron is probably being held in...
Oh, so it's close by. Then let's head over right away.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all. But if you want to make it up to me, then just be sure to fight
God.
All right.
Look over there.
Huh? I think she sees someone in the middle of the camp.
That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui.
right, we'll take the lead.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Don't you have work to do?
I cannot see the sun. Without the sun, I cannot see the truth. You are currently blocking the light, so I must beseech you to move aside.
Huh? Okay, Mr. Philosopher. That's enough mumbo-jumbo.
Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off.
See, Lolly's struggling to control her temper now.
Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts. On my count. 3, 2, 1!
Let's go.
Still trying to resist? You've got no idea who you're up against.
Just for slacking. Let's end this quickly. This should be fun. Not so soon. Time to fulfill my duty. It's not no slacking off.
Take this!
Prepare yourself.
The Temple of Wisdom!
Bring it! Let the mountain flame boil!
Lightning Slash!
This should be fun. Let's end this quickly.
Give me some space.
Isn't time for break yet.
Letting brave names echo!
Bellowing Thunder!
Way ahead of you.
Let's not waste time.
This may hurt a little. Sharing my knowledge.
Give me some space.
Committed to memory. Yeah!
Let's end this quickly.
Way ahead of you.
Grow, grow, grow!
Move or be moved.
Come at me. This is it. To be a killjoy. We've only just begun.
Hey! Make yourselves at home! Thunderclap!
All right. Hear the echoes of the valley!
Give me some space. Sage's wisdom.
I quit. Miscalculated. Death.
Auroron!
Granny!
Paimon knows she's called Granny Eatsley, but it's still kind of weird hearing someone actually call her Granny.
And greetings to you too, other Granny.
What did you just call her?
Granny. Is that not right? You are Granny's friend, are you not? You seem to be approximately the same age as her, so I figured you're also a Granny.
How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me. You can't go around calling everyone Gramps or Granny.
Oh, wait. He's not a child, is he? Don't tell Paimon he's one of those people who look like an adult but are actually only 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, your words have pierced my heart like a thorned vine. Given how hard those thorns are to remove, I may just need to find a pair of tweezers.
Why are you so upset? You can just say yes or no.
Of course I'm not a child. It's just, Granny always taught me to show gratitude where it's due. And since the Masters of the Night Wind raised me collectively, I basically see everyone above a certain age as an elder I should look up to. Exactly.
But if you keep that up, then everyone's going to be your senior.
And do you think saying all of this is gonna save you from a scolding, Auroron? Haven't I told you 100 times since you were a kid? Heed the 3 warnings.
Be wary of bees prowling around, scammers looking for their next victim, and strange people who appear out of nowhere.
Oh, so you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. But getting kidnapped? That really takes the cake. You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know. You're just lucky we got here when we did. Or we might be launching another search and rescue operation to find out where they put your severed head.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'll be more careful next time.
Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance. They didn't hurt you, did they?
No, they just asked me a lot of questions about Natlan's terrain and made me draw a map of the ley line distribution.
Okay, now answer me honestly. Were you the one who helped the captain escape after his battle with the Pyro Archon?
Yes.
So why did you do it?
Because they said they would need my help from there on out. They also said that if I refused, they'd just come to you, Granny, and they'd already figured out a way to make you do their bidding.
Hey, I'm no ordinary Granny. Would they really dare to come after me? And you! Did the gods give you a brain just for you to not use it? Did you really believe everything they said at face value? And not stop to think? Thankfully, the Pyro Archon only asked that we find the mysterious individual from the Masters of the Night Wind, and didn't slap your name on a wanted poster. Don't think for a second that she doesn't know what's happening. Even if the truth that you see will soon manifest into reality, there is still no need to preemptively panic. Have you forgotten the words that I've taught you?
I'm sorry.
Forget it. We can submit the details of this camp and the defeated Fatui as evidence of your innocence. Let's clean this place up and get back to the city. Auroron, you better remember this lesson well and seriously reflect on your actions. Also, once we return to the city, come to the speaker's chamber with me. I'll need you to explain everything.
Sounds good. Should I bring some of my homegrown vegetables as well?
Your vegetables?
Yes. I grow a lot of fresh produce in my garden. I hope the Pyro Archon won't be too picky about the selection.
Now's not the time to be thinking about that. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is...
Recite the 3 warnings.
Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui!
How exactly did the Masters raise this guy?
Oh, right.
Here's Ember.
I see. So Auroron came to the captain's rescue because he promised to help him in exchange for Lali's safety.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect another member of his tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness?
We'll give her a full report. We'll let you know once she's reached a decision.
Will I need to stay here?
Technically, yes. But if Miss Lali is willing to serve as your guarantor, then we can release you from custody.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here. I still have other things to do.
Understood. Thank you very much. Mr. Auroron, please report back to the speaker's chamber as soon as you've received notice of the Archon's decision.
I understand. Thank you. And thank you too, Granny.
Well, at least you won't need to hide your face anymore.
Traveler, Paimon, thank you very much for your help. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you.
Oh, thank you.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now. Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night.
Goodbye, other granny.
Test.
We're finally done. Alright, it's time to find some grub. Huh? What is it, Traveler? What? That captain? Sorry. Paimon just didn't see that coming. So you really saw him in the Night Kingdom? And he didn't attack— Oh, that Auroron, what is he up to? He sounded earnest enough just now. Paimon would have never guessed anything was happening. All that stuff about protecting Seat Lally and being forced to help the Fatui, when he's actually been a willing accomplice all along. Yeah, you're right. Still, Paimon appreciates you telling her about this. Paimon will support your choice no matter what, so if you want to go, we can go. We still have another whole day before the meeting, so we'll just meet with them when the time...
It's too far away. Where is this?
All right.
Weird. Paimon doesn't see anyone. Oh, please don't let this be a trap. What was that?
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
It's you. You shouldn't pop up from behind people like that. What are you, a ghost?
I'm terribly sorry. It's just a force of habit.
And what's with you apologizing all the time? You sound so polite and honest, but you're actually doing shady stuff behind people's backs.
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of her. Sometimes you two sound really similar, you know.
Oh, so you're gonna call Paimon Granny too now?
Well, I could. It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character. Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks. Rather than facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side. If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash. And that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid. I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth that the Pyro Archon Malwika would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to defeat the Abyss and save Natlan, she still needs 2 more heroes to appear.
Wait, how did you know that? Never mind. Guess that's not important now.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Teyvat, will pay for her mistakes. Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along? The details—
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost, whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she— My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all this? Just telling us a bunch of scary stuff isn't enough, you know. Besides, wasn't it you who tried to seize the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa's plan?
I knew you'd be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan remains unchanged. And now, I have found a new way to solve the crisis. We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching. Oh no.
Something? Bad news, chump. It's your granny.
See, Lolly? When did you get here?
I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Auroron? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh? You really think you can avoid a scolding just by staying quiet?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Oh, and now
Avoid
you're talking
anything.
back. Well, go on then. Explain yourself. What the heck are you up to?
I'm sorry, Granny. I feel so guilty.
You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll—
Wait, see, Lolly! Please, calm down. We, still learned a lot of info, didn't we? Like the fact that the captain isn't trying to seize the Gnosis anymore. So, maybe just save the scolding for later, okay?
Listen well, Auroron. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Auroron for me, okay? In all my years, I I've never had a child cause me so much grief. Do you seriously not see what's at stake here? You've got a head on your shoulders, Aurora. Why did you help the captain? And I want the truth this time. No answer? Think you're being smart? Then let me ask a different question. What does the captain want? What is his purpose in that? Really? You're just going to stonewall me? Just use your brain for a second. What do you possibly stand to gain by helping the captain? Only endless trouble awaits you and everyone in the tribe. You've always been a good kid. Why would you throw that all away now? If you're worried about something, just talk to me. Granny would much rather we had a conversation instead of constantly clashing like this.
Why is he...
I'm sorry that you have to hear all this. Indeed. It's like going to visit a friend at his house, only to suddenly hear your friend berating a naughty Saurian.
Well, that's an oddly specific analogy. Wait, did one of your friends really do that?
Yes. And every time my friend scolded his Saurians, they would look at me the same way you're looking at me now. Helpless and embarrassed.
Wait, but you're the one getting your head chewed off. Stop making this about us!
Indeed, you've got a point. Then please just hang in there for a little while longer. Granny should be done with her scolding session soon.
Oh? You dare gossip between yourselves instead of listening to me? You...
Sorry, Granny.
Sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny. You know what? Fine. I'm perfectly aware that everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. You're all grown up now, so why would you listen to an old hag like me? You say all the right things, but then you go and completely ignore me. Well, if that's how you're going to treat me, you can stop sending Aoife over to my place to deliver your stupid vegetables! I don't need anything from you!
Who's Aoife? A delivery person?
That's irrelevant. The point is, he hangs out with this kid, so he must be no good. You kids get to a certain age and suddenly act like you know it all. There's nothing I can say to get through to you. Auroron, if you're still thinking about that so-called duty, then please, just forget about it. The ley lines did not fall to this state because of you. And we've long closed the book on that incident.
Seems they've started talking about some kind of tribal history. I'm starting to get lost.
That's not it, Granny. I know you tend to get down on yourself when you're upset, but I can tell I really hurt you this time. All I can say is I'm sorry.
His voice. Auroron! Where have you gone?
It sounds like he's somewhere super far away, but isn't he right here in front of us?
I'm really sorry. It's up to all of us to do everything we can to save Natlan. So I've got to go.
Get back here this instant! Auroron! What is this? Powder from plant spores? Is that the trick he used?
What just happened? How was he able to suddenly get so far away like that?
It's a trick of his. If you grind spores into a powder and spray it in the air, it can be manipulated to create an illusion. He pulled it off flawlessly. He must have put a lot of time into perfecting it. Don't tell me that's how he's been hunting in the fields these days. Oh, couldn't he have picked up something more useful? Little brat. That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs.
Whoa, that's a little extreme. But still, why does he feel like he needs to run from us? If his goal is also to protect Natlan, then can't we work together?
I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation with them earlier. But even if you'd been able to hear them out, there's no guarantee you would have gained anything substantial. Auroron probably did everything he could to get away because he knew I'd get the truth out of him sooner or later. Ah, that brat. I swear. We've got quite a long walk back to the city. Let's take our time. It'll give me a moment to figure out how to explain all this.
This may hurt a little.
All right.
Do you two have some time? Feeling hungry? How about we get something?
All right, it's been a while since we last ate. Now that we can relax, Paimon just realized how hungry she is.
Then let's go. We can find somewhere to sit down and talk. Food and drinks are on me.
How did this become Paimon's bill? Sweet Lolly looks quite down on herself. All right. It's on Paimon this time. What's one meal to the best guide into that? So you can just sit back and enjoy, Sweet Lolly. Paimon will take care of it.
Hey, come on now. You won't even let me take you out for some food and drinks? I just want to...
Are you sure? We can save you some Mora.
Mora is the least of my concerns. Besides, we're definitely due a meal after all the time we've spent together. Let me get this one. I might be an old hag, but I like to think...
Sure, that's fine with us, but...
Don't worry. I'm sure a juicy grilled steak will work one...
No shortcut. Should be shortcut here.
Yep.
What are you looking at?
Do you see two people standing by the door? They look like spitting images of each other. Are they twins?
But Paimon only sees one person there.
She's drunk.
Huh? How could that be? I guess my mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Give me another bottle, boss!
Do you think she's drunk?
There you go, miss. Oh my, it's not every day you get to see Granny Itzley here with some friends. Not to mention ones who've made a huge name for themselves recently.
Oh, so you've heard of us?
Of course I have. Aren't you the ones who saved Kachina and brought her back? No wonder you hit it off with Granny Sidlali. She wouldn't spend time with just anybody, you know. I don't even remember the last time I saw her with a new friend.
Wait, so you call her Granny too?
Well, given our ages, it'd probably be more accurate for me to call her my great-great-granny. She's one of the most famous people at the Masters of the Nightwind. Most days, hardly anyone even dares talk to her.
Huh? Gossiping about me right in front of my face now, are you, Chonka?
Oh, please, Granny, I wouldn't dare. I'm just beyond happy to see you bring over some new friends. After all, any friends of our regulars are sure to be great.
All right, that's enough. Go on now. I'm sure the other customers would like to talk to you as well. There's no need to keep staring at me. I promise I'll keep my alcohol down until I leave.
Well then, you have my thanks.
Seat Lally? Seat Lally?
Who's that? You got some gall calling me by my first name. Let me guess. You want to test your skills against Granny Eatsley, don't ya?
Are you still with us, Seat Lally? You're kinda talking to no one.
You chumps come around here, picking fights with me? Well, you know what happens next. You lose, and then run off home to tell everyone about how I'm this big scary bully. It's always the same story. You brats start it, I finish it, and then I end up with the reputation of being some kind of terrible monster among the shamans. I mean, come on. Monster? Me? Really? What did I do to deserve that?
Granny Seat Lally, you're not a monster at all.
Exactly. And while we're at it, I'm not some lazy slacker either. Between meditation, advising the chief, and speaking with the Wyab, I actually have a pretty packed schedule, you know. Oh yeah. And I have to mentor all the new kids. Hey, new kid. Yeah, you. Don't play dumb. Didn't I teach you how to find phlogiston? You see? I know my stuff. I'm a good teacher. You tell him. That's more like it. About dang time someone showed me a little respect. Yeah, Granny's a hard worker, all right. You can always rely on old Granny.
Did she just fall asleep with her eyes open? Oh, jeez.
Behind this pitch-black curtain, a chapter of hatred reveals itself. Behind the smoke, the lingering smoke.
Ah, she's meditating again. She does this whenever she's had a few too many drinks. Her mind's actually racing at this point. It's quite...
Is this another specialty of the Masters of the Nightwind?
No, I'd say it's an ability that's unique to Citlali herself. While she can easily pick up everyone else's skills and tricks, few have been able to master hers.
Warning, warning. Red, the color of danger, has now arisen within that pair of eyes. Huh? Traveler? Paimon?
What's wrong?
I'm gonna hurl.
Hang on, just keep it in.
Phew. Okay, it's passed.
You had Paimon worried. Paimon really thought you were about to barf all over the table just now.
How embarrassing. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. That's never happened before, I swear. I've never thrown up.
Are you feeling okay? Wanna take a quick walk and get some fresh air?
There's so much that I want to say, but...
Why not? Of course you can. Just say whatever's on your mind.
Please, Paimon. It's not as simple as you think. We've only known each other for a few days, right? What would you think of me if I were to start dumping all of my complaints?
Oh, Paimon gets it. You're hoping that we wouldn't think less of you no matter what you're about to say.
No, that wasn't my point at all. Seriously, don't you youngsters know anything about shame? I'm talking about shame. I've lived all these years.
Actually...
Huh? Tell me what?
Yeah, this is as good a time as any.
So... you heard...
It's okay, Seablolly. You had every right to complain.
I can't take it anymore! Why do these things happen to me? Hearing me mumble under my breath is one thing, but hearing what I mumble in my own head? It's just like when you're rolling on the floor in your pajamas, but you forget to lock the door, and someone bursts in to deliver cabbages and sees the whole thing!
So that, happens?
It happens to people in general, okay? Doesn't matter if you're 200 years old or 1,000 years old. Everyone rolls around in their pajamas sometimes. I was just picking something. Take a walk with me.
Looks like she's completely given up. Like those criminals who just confess everything and accept their fate.
All right.
Well, great view, right? I love...
Wow, it's beautiful!
You're making me want to cry.
Oh no, what do we do? Please don't cry!
I was an expression, okay? A figure of speech. I'm just... Let's just have a casual conversation.
Really? You don't seem like the kind of person who keeps things...
Well, I guess I used to be more of a stickler for the rules. And you're right. I don't usually open up to the people of my tribe. I'm just an eccentric old hag to them. That story's been passed down so long.
But you're just a regular person.
The kids of my tribe would have a heart attack if they heard you say that. Granny Eatsley is a powerful figure. Be careful around her.
Well, you are powerful. Are they
Some are. Others are mad I always come out on top. A few decades like that, and people stop knowing how to deal with you. What about you?
We don't find you scary at all.
Huh. That's because you're not from my tribe. You don't know how many delusions of grandeur I've destroyed just by existing. I make people realize that no matter how hard they work, not to brag or anything. Maybe it's hard to believe.
We believe you. Shilonen has full faith in your abilities, and Auroran didn't seem scared of you. He thinks of you as his granny, right?
Yes, but Auroran's a special case. Mawika already told you about her plan. And you've given so much help to Auroran and me. Auroran's not like other people. As I mentioned, the reason being, his soul is incomplete. The Masters of the Nightwind view this as a bad omen, capable of bringing about illness and misfortune. No one knows who his parents were. He was just left on a rock in the wilderness. It's a miracle he wasn't devoured by... The Masters of the Nightwind believe they can see human souls. And in Auroran's incomplete soul, they saw a possibility to turn Auroran into a vessel for... The ceremony would allow lost souls to gather within him. Auroran would then be sent to the Night Kingdom to return the souls to their rightful place. Strengthen...
Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Now, you see the problem. When damage occurs to the Night Kingdom, the souls held within disperse and remain adrift. unable to find a way back to the ley lines. This loss of souls the ceremony can send back countless souls at once, which would benefit the Night Kingdom and the souls themselves. Of course, the vessel, Auroron, would be I wasn't surprised the chief at the time came up with the plan. The ley lines were already in a terrible state. A suitable candidate for the ceremony appears? And now you have... When the chief asked for my opinion, I didn't give my approval, but I didn't object either. So they went ahead with the ceremony. Pathetic, isn't it? By not objecting, I basically gave them the go-ahead. Maybe they didn't have my explicit approval. Of course, in my tribe, death is rarely something to fear. But what kind of message would we be sending by sentencing a new... It's not right. So, when I learned the ceremony had failed, I was ashamed by my The plan was never a secret. Or, I guess I should say, there was no point to keeping it a secret. A simple investigation. Everyone thought he would be happy he survived. And he never really said anything to the contrary. But just as I was about to put all of it, he asks this question.
Wait, what?
He knows that, but he still feels guilty. Auroron has a strong ability to perceive souls, more than any of us. He understands just how dire maybe he chose to work with the Fatui because he still thinks he owes a debt to Natlan. I can only imagine what they told him.
Traveler, didn't the captain say he found a way to solve the crisis? Maybe that's what brought Auroron into this. Anyway, we can't just let things go on like this. We have to convince him to come back. You don't look so good, Sweet Lolly. Maybe you should head back and get some sleep.
Probably drank too much. Okay. Forget that. I need to go home. I hit it a little too hard. You've helped me so much already. How do I even begin to...
Hey, we're friends, aren't we? Besides, you already said you owe us a favor, so you don't need to worry about...
Good point. Well, I'll go home and get some sleep. We can fix... Friends. I like the sound of that.
Auroron's probably back with the captain, don't you think? You mean about the backup plan? Do you really believe what the captain told us? Yeah, you're right. We should just go to her, but she's probably asleep. We can find her first thing in the morning. For now, let's...
Alright. I think that's all for today. See you later. You later on part 2 maybe. Wait a minute. My cat didn't speak at all. And why is that? Is this okay? Right? This should be okay. And test.